So I think the engine in this car is one of the most powerful tools that it has to put a smile on your face. And specifically, that's because there's just so much torque between about 3,000 and 5,000 RPM. This is the 2022 Genesis G70. This video represents everything I can tell you and show you about it after 1,300 kilometers at the wheel, testing, shooting, and touring while creating various assignments for TV and web. And for the full scoop on this machine, including specs, comparisons, and related content, look for a link to my full assignment from driving.ca down in the description below. For now, let's get things started by doing what I've done for a living for the past 16 years. My name's Justin Pritchard, and I make a living using my keyboard, cameras, and voice to put my audience in the driver's seat as best as I can. Let's go for a drive. We'll be seeing 3 different G70s in this video, as well as a few other machines, including one that's largely considered to be the ultimate sports sedan of all time. So buckle in because we're going for a bit of a ride here. We'll start in 2019 with this G70 Sport, shown here with a punchy 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder rear-wheel drive, the big red Brembos, and a 6-speed stick. And if that selection of equipment isn't a nod to the fact that this car is seriously targeting driving enthusiasts, I'm not sure what is. Back here for model year 2022, the G70 no longer comes manual or rear-wheel drive, though it has just had a comprehensive makeover complete with new looks and features and skin that really pushes this thing up market. My testers, and that's plural because I'll be showing you 2 G70s that we filmed on 2 different features, are both the freshly updated 2022 units with V6 power, automatic, and all-wheel drive. And of course, with that new sports exhaust this year, we get to hear even more of that engine, more of the time. It's a good sounding howl to it. So when you add it all up, you've got a twin-turbocharged sports sedan experience that's built to hustle and handle and generate big grins for enthusiast drivers, while giving them a generous list of the high-tech tools and goodies they like to have in their kit. There's even a wireless recharging pad for your smartphone, and it's made of this extra sort of grippy rubber to help keep your phone in place, and that is a nod to one of the best things about this car. Look real close, you'll see there's a valve there, and that kind of opens and closes off part of the muffler to enhance the sound, and that is the sports exhaust system. And best of all, you get all of that for 59,000 Canadian dollars, all in, delivered right to your door. So my comfortable driving position at about 5'10", 200 pounds, definitely not stretch out roomy, but nothing is really feeling too tight in here either. It's just a snug sort of sports sedan fit. But let's see how I fit in that back seat behind myself. First thing you notice is that you really sink down into these seats. It's almost like a bucket seat kind of setup back here. And sitting directly behind someone identically sized to me. Legroom's actually not bad. The feet are sort of tucking in under the seat here, so I've got less foot room than I probably like. Headroom's a bit tight again. It's that snug sort of feeling. If you want something bigger than this, it's going to have to be a crossover. But for 4 adults on a shorter trip, this is going to work just fine. I think this machine looks the business too. The facelift does some extensive reworking of both the interior and exterior, the most prominent result I think being more dramatic trimmings, more widely deployed, more detailing, and a richer and more substantial look that's carried from one end of the car to the other. To put that another way, the equipment level and styling of this machine punches above its weight. It all feels solid and dense too. In fact, if you listen closely, you can hear the luxury. If you don't know this about me, I am deathly afraid of these things. My least favorite insect is the star of the show. Outside, it's a head turner, and though I'm not sure whether I'm a big fan of this grille treatment or not, you can't argue that from any angle, this is both upscale and very distinctive looking. This color is called Siberian Ice, and my road test car was finished in Havana Red. Do you like quilted leather? Genesis thinks you do, because this stuff is everywhere. Even on close inspection, detailing and feel of control surfaces and switchgear is convincingly high-end, and for the most part, there's little in here that's not pleasing to look at or touch. The central command screen is wide and crisp, responsive, and looks nicely integrated within its surroundings. So a little more detail for you here on the drive mode selector. This is what lets us control the G70 and how it feels and responds at the tips of our fingers and toes. So a little rocker dial here. So tap left, tap right. We've got Comfort, Sport, Sport Plus, custom drive mode that you can configure yourself however you like, and an eco drive mode here if what you want is for the G70 to make it as easy as possible for you to drive it efficiently. This is also repeated here in the instrument cluster. Interesting to note here as well, in Sport Plus you actually feel the bolsters of the seats squeezing in on you a little bit to help stabilize you in the seat. And of course that makes it easier for you to drive the car spiritedly but also smoothly, because the better the seat holds you in place, the less you're sort of bracing yourself with the dead pedal and hanging off the steering wheel. And that makes it easier to give the car smoother and gentler inputs, and that makes for a better performance driving experience. You've got this in Sport Plus with the hair trigger throttle and the sports exhaust opened up a little bit so you can hear even more of it. It puts on a seriously good show. So much power, 3,000 RPM. Just a couple hundred RPM to get those turbos up to speed. You're sucked into your seat, and it's a good sound. I think I would tell you from in here it sounds kind of tastefully restrained, even with the sports exhaust opened up a bit. It's not super in your face, it's not kind of soaking the cabin with noise, but you're definitely aware that there's something with a bit of firepower under the hood. I still think the best thing about the G70 is the attitude or the character that they've dialed into the way that it feels, and to explain why, I need to bring in one more car. This is a 2000 BMW M5, also known as the E39, and it's owned by one of my best friends, and it's a machine largely considered to be the ultimate sports sedan driving experience. I've been lucky enough to have plenty of seat time in this machine over many years, both on the road and in some closed course situations too. What I can tell you is that first, it's an excellent machine to drive, and that second, while this 2022 G70 is very different in a lot of ways, it did remind me of the E39 in the sense that both of these machines give you that beautiful, sort of distinctive sports sedan feel that happens when you really dial things in right. I'm not actually sure which of these is faster or stickier, and it doesn't really matter because it's a silly comparison to make in a lot of ways. But still, there's just something special about having a very responsive throttle, very responsive brakes, an eager steering system, some sticky tires, and maybe most importantly, a suspension system that helps orchestrate all of that into a comfortable ride, but with the very strong sense that the body of the car is being sprung tightly against its wheels. And so when you drive spiritedly, you're in this perfect place between soft and hard, touring and racetrack. And so I think the common thread that connects one of the world's most famous luxury sports sedans with one of its newest is that at their core, they're both effectively engineered to be a comfortable four-door machine that's built to connect with and entertain you more effectively the harder you push it. On gripes, rear seat space is okay for 4 adults on a shorter trip, but will run out quickly for larger occupants. The high-performing tires and rear differential can cause some unwanted noises and feedback while parking, that's somewhat common, and I did leave the G70 wishing for a more generous highway cruising range from a tank of gas. Further, while entertaining enough to use frequently, I did wish the paddle shifting experience was a bit more responsive and that downshifts were a bit more exciting to listen to. End of the day, and aside from a few minor gripes, here's a beautiful looking car with an authentic luxury sport driving experience that's got everything you probably want at a highly reasonable price.